ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਪੂਤਾ ਮਾਤਾ ਕੀ ਆਸੀਸ ਨਿਮਖ ਨਾ ਬਿਸਰੋ ਤਮਕੋ ਹਰ ਹਰ ਸਦਾ ਭਜੋ ਜਗਦੀਸ਼। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Guru Pyari Sath Sangat Ji, yesterday we have looked at Mataji's final life event, her Jyoti Jyot. We have been exploring Mataji's Jeevani for the past 22 days. It's extremely blessed 22 days, especially for those who have been listening this live. And it's truly a blessing to be able to go through this Jeevani, especially in the form of Sangat. Yesterday we looked how Mataji, after the Jyoti Jyot of Kalgitar Padshah Ji, they stopped eating, they did not eat properly, and they were also not sleeping properly, and because of that their body was weak. And one day they called Mata Sundari Ji separately from privately, and they told her that my time has come, that my breath that I was blessed with, they are going to be completed. And then Mata Sundari Ji, so the both of them had a very deep moment of vairag, and Mata Sundari Ji was also very very close to Mata Sahib Devan Ji, and Mata Sahib Devan Ji also apologized to Mata Sundari Ji if in case she had any mistakes done in her whole journey of being with Mata Sundari Ji. We then saw that when Mataji, she was preparing to, she said her final basically farewell to Mata Sundari Ji. Mata Sundari Ji was speechless, and when Mata Sahib Devan Ji, she started then preparing. She had her ishnan, she wore clean clothes, and she went to the shastars that was given to her by Kalgitar Padshah Ji. And when she went to the area, the Palanga, where the shastar Parkash was done, she stood in front of the shastar. She did ardas and she matha dek to this shastar, and then she sat down on her asan near the shastar place, and she was sitting sanmukh, she was facing the shastars, and then she had the dhyan of Kalgitar Padshah Ji. She put her whole focus, her concentration, her surti into Kalgitar Padshah Ji, and then through her dasam dwar, her last breath went out, and then she left her physical body on this Mother Earth. And at the same time, the Sangat was also doing jap around that area. They were sitting a little bit further from Mataji, and they were all doing jap as well, slowly, in a very soft sound voice. They were doing it together, and after they finished the whole Japji Sahib jap that they were doing, then one of the Bibi, she went towards Mataji, and then she saw that Mataji has left her physical body. And that is when the Sangat then basically put Mataji in a very nice biban. They carried Mataji, and everyone wanted to do this last seva of Mataji. All Mataji's children wanted to give their shoulder to the biban. They wanted to carry it as well, so they carried turn by turn. And then they arrived according to Mataji's own wish. Mataji's physical body, holy body, was brought to Gurdwara Bala Sahib, and this area is where Guru Har Krishan Ji's Shashkar was held as well. So Mataji had, it was her own wish that she want her cremation to be at that, near that area as well. And that is why Sangatji, now there is a Gurdwara in Delhi called Gurdwara Bala Sahib, and if you go to do darshan there are 3 Angithe Sahib there. One is Angitha of Guru Har Krishan Ji Maharaj, one is Angitha of Mata Sahib Devan Ji, and the third Angitha is the Angitha of Mata Sundri Ji. And the author Baba Surjit Singh Ji Mehron Wale, they has urged us, the children of Mataji, to visit this Gurdwara, where all this Itihasik Gurdwara, but especially this Angitha Sahib of Mataji, to gain her blessing whenever we go to Delhi. So another, when Mataji's cremation was going to be held, Jassa Singh Aluwalia, which stayed with Mataji as a Pujangi, as a small kid, even when he was a Balak, he stayed with Mataji alongside his mother. He and his mother were always with Mataji. They also went to Hajur Sahib with Mataji, and they also came back to Delhi with Mataji. And he and his mother, they used to do kirtan, and Mata Sahib Devan Ji used to do katha after that in Delhi. So they were really close. So usually the person that lights up the fire for the pyre is usually the son, or if it's a Mahatma, it's usually the closest sevak. So in this case, the Sangat requested Jassa Singh Aluwalia to light the pyre, and he did it. And then Mataji, basically the whole cremation was done, and that was the Jyoti Jyot of Panth Mata Sahib Devan Ji. So today we are going to look at the Hukamname of Mataji that she issued. And before we start, let us remember put our surti in the holy charan of Panth Mata Sahib Devan Ji. Dhan, Dhan 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 Mata Sahib Devan Ji. Satnam Sri Vaheguru. So all this Hukamname, and even this picture that we can see, this is the Gurdwara or the Angitha. We have seen this yesterday as well, that this Angitha is currently in Delhi. Both the Angithe of Mata Sahib Devan Ji and Mata Sundri Ji is in the same compound. And the Shastra that was given to Mataji, which belonged to Guru, which was given to Mataji by Kalgitar Padshah Ji, we can also do darshan where there's this 2 Shastra that is still basically displayed at Gurdwara. If I'm not mistaken, it's Gurdwara Mata Sundri Ji. So that's a separate Gurdwara which is called Gurdwara Mata Sundri Ji, because after the passing of Mata Sahib Devan Ji, there was only one Mahal of Guru Maharaj that was leading the Pantha, and that was Mata Sundri Ji. So that place where she was living, there is a Gurdwara there now. It's called Gurdwara Mata Sundri Ji. And at that Gurdwara, we can do darshan of this Shastra that Mataji used to do darshan of. And these are 2 of the Shastra that is still displayed there for the Sangat to do darshan. And it's very important, Sangatji, to note that this, when we are going to look at the Hukamname, this is the time where there was the transition from the physical Guru, which was Kalgitar Padshah Ji, the last physical Guru, to the Shabad Guru, which is Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And in this period, in this whole transition period, it's amazing to see how the Matama are leading the Pantha. They are leading this transition. So there was this buffer period. Of course, now all the Sangat, they are their current Guru now after Kalgitar Padshah Ji's Guru Granth Sahib Ji, but the Matama, they were still leading the Pantha. And that is very remarkable. When we talk about the woman empowerment and everything, we have already had that in our Pantha since a very long time, where the Matama, they were given the opportunity, they were given the duty to lead the Panth regardless of their gender or anything. And this is very important to note, that the Matama, they were very honored. So now we're going to look at the Hukamname, Mata Sahib Devan ji vallon jari kite hoye Hukamname. So this is the first Hukamnama, and usually Mataji would issue the Hukamnama for a certain reason. Either she wants to tell them to do some karaj, for example, build a well or something, or she wants to thank them for the daswanda that they have sent, or she wants to inform them that there is a need of seva. That means there is a need of daswand. So there are many different situations where Mataji would issue a Hukamnama, and we have some of the Hukamnama documented. In this, we have about 7 Hukamname that are basic. We have 8 Hukamname that are included in this book. So in the first one, this Hukamnama is issued to Pai Alam Singh Jamaatdar. So Jamaatdar means Jathedar, and he was from Patna, and it was sent through a Mevra. So who is a Mevra? We have covered this word Mevra before. A Mevra is a Ardasya Singh. He's basically the messenger, or he's the person that is entrusted to bring this letter. And if Mataji is requesting the Sangat to give some daswanda, that means this Mevra Ardasya Sikh is the Sikh that is responsible to bring the daswand back to Mataji. So that not she would specifically, when we go through this Hukamname, we would notice some things. For example, Mataji would very specifically note who is the Mevra Singh that is given the duty to collect the daswanda, and she would specifically mention the name that you are to give the daswanda to this person that I have sent. And so that the Mevra that brought this first Hukamnama, his name is Gurbaksha Pagte. And let us see what is the content. So there is 2 sections of this Hukamnama. First is the horizontal section, and then there's this vertical section. So the horizontal one, the one that's on the top, we can see it's very obvious. It's the writing is very unique. So the upper part, the ones that is basically aligned in a different direction compared to the rest of the Hukamnama. So that is the Nishan of Mata Sahib Devan ji. What does this mean? So it means the upper part, Mataji would write it with her own she would write it with her own kalam. That means she would write it herself. And the rest of the letter, so for example, she would write the main things that she wants to write, the main points, or whatever that she wants to write, she marking that it's written by her, because we can know that you would see even in this 8 Hukamname, the first section is almost the same, the way the Ikowankar is written and everything. So that is the Nishan, that is the sign that Mataji herself is issuing this Hukamnama. So the upper part, Mataji would write it herself. Then the lower part, the rest of the Hukamnama would be written by a Likhari. So that means there would be someone, a writer that would be assigned by Mataji, and Mataji would then tell him what to write. But how do we know it's really issued by Mataji? Is the first upper part, the top part. So that's why Mataji would do her Nisan first, indicate that she is writing it, and then she would give the letter to the Likhari, who would sit down with her, and then she would tell him what to write, and then he would write it. So first we would see the Nishan in this first Hukamnama. It says Ik Oankar Satguruji, and this is a very common way of how letters were written previously, or how even Hukamname was started. It would be Sri Akal Purkh Ji Sahai, Ik Oankar Sri Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, or Ik Oankar Satguru Ji. They would always usually start the Hukamnama or the letter by referring to Paramatma, Akal Purkh. Pai Alam Singh Jamaatdar Sarbat Jamaat Kabila Guru Rakhe. So Mataji is stating in her Nishan that this Hukamnama is issued to Pai Alam Singh, who is the Jamaatdar, the Jathedar of a jatha. Jamaat is like a laka, or you can say a jatha. Kabila is basically many families. When you at one place, when you collect them together collectively, you call them kabila, like the inhabitants, the families. So they are all called kabila. So Mataji is issuing this hukamnama to that area, and she's addressing it specifically to the jathedar. Ik oankar Satguru Jiyo, Sri Akal Purkh Ji ka Khalsa, Sri Mata Sahib Devi Ji di Agya hai. So first, now the writer is writing, Mataji is telling him to write, and that is why he is saying Sri Akal Purkh Ji ka Khalsa. He's addressing, he said, the Khalsa of Akal Purkh, because we discussed in the sessions before how was the Khalsa created? It was from the orders of Akal Purkh. So this is something to remember as well when we say Akal Purkh ki Fauj, Akal Purkh ka Khalsa. It's not a figurative meaning, but it's literally the meaning that this Khalsa belongs to Akal Purkh. So now Mataji is saying that Sri Akal Purkh Ji ka Khalsa, she's addressing the Khalsa. Sri Mata Sahib Devi Ji di Agya hai. So that's why we know that this is someone who is sitting in front of Mataji, and he's writing what Mataji is saying, because he said Mata Sahib Devi Ji di Agya hai. In the Agya, Mataji is saying this. So he's going to write what Mata Sahib Devi Ji is saying. And this is also where we know the name of Mata Sahib Devan Ji. You see, even the writer here, Mataji herself, she's addressed as Sahib Devi Ji. She's not referred as Sahib Kaur Ji. Bhai Alam Singh Jamaatdar Sarbat Jamaat Kabila Khalsa Guru Rakhega. So firstly, Mataji is saying, may Guru Maharaj bless all the people of this area. Guru Guru Japna Janam Savarna. So what is Mataji's bachan? And we would see this same bachan almost in all their hukamname. She said Guru Guru Japna Janam Savarna. This was one of her main message. Every time she sent a hukamnama, she would say this, Guru Guru Japna. So it means something. It means that if Mataji is saying it so many times, it means it's really important for her to tell her children that do Simran, remember Paramatma, read Bani, Guru Guru Japo. And with that, your janam would be swar hoga. Your janam would be worthy. Meri bahut khushi hai, tusi mere put farjand ho. Sure, and this is another thing that Mataji would say in almost all her hukamname. She would say, I am very happy. You are my farjand putter. You are my beloved children. Guru pura tuhadi teg deg fateh kare. They say, may Guru Maharaj always bless you in both your deg and teg. So what does it mean? Deg, may the langar of Guru Maharaj always happen, and always the Sangat always do the langar, that is how Guru Maharaj has started it. May the langar always go on. And your teg, may your teg also always be how? Basically she is saying, may you always stay in rahat. May you always be tyar bar tyar. And this is why Mataji always say, teg deg fateh kare. Purmayas. So this is her instruction. What is the instruction? Purmayas likhi. Tusa uppar. This is my instruction to you. Langar vaste purmayas dekh de. Alam Singh paso. Kar karke khundi karvaye. Gurbaksha Pagte Mevde ke Hawale Karni. So she is telling the Sangat of this area to basically collect the daswand that everyone has collected. So all the Sangat, they used to keep the daswand separately from their earning, because when this Mevda comes, they would give this daswand to the Mevda so that it can be taken to the Guru Kar. So they say Hundi. Hundi means, Hundi is like last time they did not have bank to do transactions. So Hundi would basically be, it's like a moving bank. It's like a person that is entrusted to collect the swanda that the Sangat would give. So that's why Mataji specifically tells the name of the person that's going to collect the swand. She said, Gur Baksha Pagte Mevde. So the Mevda, the Ardasya saying that the Sangat is supposed to give the Daswand is Gur Baksha Pagte. Jo Singh Langar di Kar Loch Kar Desi Tis di Kit Rujgar Guru Pura Barkat Karsi. So Guru Maharaj said, those who send this Daswand, whatever they wish for, their desires would come true. Guru Maharaj would fulfill their desires. Sabni gali khasmana hosi. You say all your galla, all your icha, khasmana. The khasmana, who is our khasmana? Our khasmana is a Akal Purkh. So you say Guru Maharaj would fulfill whatever that you desire for. And then there is a date when it is written. Sammat 1783 Asu Vadi Dasa 1711. So what does 1711 means? This is another very interesting thing about the Hukamname. So now if you count the line of the Hukamname, there are 11 lines. If you start counting even now, you can count there are 11 lines of the Hukamnama from the vertical one. So after they write the Hukamnama, they would write how Satra means the lines. So they are saying there are 11 lines. So why is it so important to write it? To avoid someone tempering this Hukamnama. For example, someone might just add something and then say, oh, it's part of the Hukamnama. So that is why there is a very unique numbering here, which tells us that there should only be 11 lines of the Hukamnama, which means that this Hukamnama is only supposed to be 11 lines. If it has more than that, it means it's tempered. It means someone has added something to it. And that is how systematic the whole Hukamnama writing was. So we can see a few things. First, Mataji would write herself the top part, where she would do her own nishan, marking that this is her writing. And then we have this counting here. And she would also indicate who is the Mevra that's going to collect it. So we can see how the Panth was run in such a systematic manner that even the Hukamname, they were written in a way that no one can temper it, and there was this whole element of trustworthiness in the Mevra that's bringing it. So this is the first Hukamnama where Mataji is asking the Sangat to send the Swand. Now the second one, this is sent to Pai Anandaroop, and to Mataji mentioned few names, but it's basically generally to the Sangat of Patna Sahib. And she says, Ikoankar Satguru Ji Sarbat Khalsa Vasi Patna Guru Rakhe. Again, in Mataji's own nishan, we can see Mataji always say Guru Rakhe. May the Guru always protect you. May the blessings of the Guru always be upon you. So this is another common thing that we can see in the Nisan of Mata Sahib Devan Ji. Ik Oankar Sri Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh, Sri Akal Purkh Ji ka Khalsa. So again, Mataji is referring to the Khalsa, addressing the Khalsa. Sri Sahib Devi Ji di Agya hai. And this is the instruction of Mata Sahib Devi Ji. Pai Anand Roop Singh, Pai Tara Singh, Pai Raja Singh, Pai Buddhu Singh, Pai Uday Singh, Devi Singh, Sarbat Khalsa Vasi Patna Guru Rakhe. So Mataji has mentioned few names. So probably these are the names of people that Mataji basically, maybe they had some position of the place, or maybe they are close to Mataji, or Mataji basically that is why there must be some reason why Mataji is specifically saying their names as well. And then she's also referring to the whole Sangat of Patna Sahib. And again she said Guru Rakhe, may the Guru always protect you. Guru Guru Japana Janam Savarna. Again she says the same thing, Guru Guru Japana Janam Savarna. Meri bahut khushi hai tusi mere put farjand ho. Again she say, I am very happy with all of you. You are my beloved children. Guru pura tuhadi har bab rakhya kar. They say, may Guru Maharaj har samay, har bab, it means har bab means har samay. May Guru Maharaj protect you, be angasang with you all the time. Rupaye tehtar tera anne. So they say, Mataji is saying how much this one they need. So this is another Hukamnama where Mataji is telling the Sangat that this one is needed, and she is telling Rupaye 73. So it's 73 Rupaye 13 anne. So 13 anne. So the conversion of anne are basically like coins. So how do we convert? 16 anne would be 1 Rupaye. So that is why you see in the numbering of this Hukamnama, that is in the number form, it's written 73, then there is 3 lines and minus. So it means 73 Rupaye and less 3 to make another Rupaye. So because 16 anne would make 1 Rupaya, but now Mataji asked for 13 anne, so it means there is 3 less Rupaye to make 3 less anne to make 1 Rupaye. That is why they have this 3 line and minus. So means 3 anne cut 1 Rupaye bananu. So that's why it's written in such way, 73, and there are 3 lines and minus. So Akhri 73 13 anne marfat Sidhu Singh Hajur Paunche. So before this, the Sangat of Patna Sahib, they have sent this amount of money as well. So Mataji is addressing them and telling them that I have safely received your previous Daswand. Sahas Rao Paunche, Sahas Rao Sudha Langar Pae Khushi Hoi Sikhan Di Pavani Thai Pai. And that the Swanda was used for the langar of the Guru Kar. So you see another thing, Mataji is very accountable as well. Her accounting skill is very good as well, because she also tells them that the previous Daswand has come and where was this previous Daswand used. She even tells the Sangat, Jo Sikh langar di kar loch kar desi, tis di kirat rujgar guru pura barkat kare. So Guru Mataji is saying that those who give the Swand to the Guru's langar, their earning would be safely barkat paugi. There would be more barkat that would come to those people that give this the Swanda. That's why Sangaji, another thing that we can see here is how important it is to give the Swanda. Because we can see if actually we don't give the Swanda, sometimes we would lose more money. And when we give the Swanda, that is where we get more barkat in our house. And we can see it from Mataji's writing as well. Mataji is saying the same thing. If you give the Swanda, there would be more barkat that would come to your house. Sammat 785 Chet Sudhi 9 17 12 Hukam Sahib Devi Ji ka Marfat Sidhu Singh Mevde. So he's saying this is Hukam of Mata Sahib Devan Ji through the Mevda called Sidhu Singh, and the date, if we translate it to current date, would be 27 March 1729. So the third Hukamnama, this Hukamnama was addressed to the Sangat of Banaras. Ik Oankar Sat Guru Ji Sarbat Khalsa Wasi Banaras Guru Rakhe. And Banaras is in Kanchi. So Mataji is addressing the Sangat of Banaras, and again she say, may the Guru always be with you, may the Guru always protect you. Ik Oankar Sri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So this is a bit different from the we have seen the first Hukamnama was started with Ik Oankar Satguru Jiyo, and the second one is Ik Oankar Sri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, and this is also Ik Oankar Sri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So there are basically different ways to start a Hukamnama. Sri Akal Purkh Ji Ka Khalsa. Mataji is addressing the Khalsa. Sri Mata Sahib Ji Di Agya Hai. This is the order of Mata Sahib Devan Ji. Bhai Thakur Das, Bhai Sobhai Mal Chopda, Bhai Simbhu Nath, Bhai Sahib Rai, Sarbat Khalsa Wasi Banaras Guru Rakhe. May the Guru always protect the Sangat of Banaras. Guru Guru Japna Janam Savarna. Again Mataji is saying, meditate and make your life worthy. Meri bahut khushi hai tusi mere put farzand ho. Mataji is saying again that you are my beloved children and I'm very happy with you. Guru pura tuhade sab manorath pure kare. May the Guru fulfill all your desires. फरमायश लिखी. Now the order. What is the order? तुसां उत्ते लंगर वास्ते रुपये 50. Mataji is saying send 50 रुपये. अखरी 50 फरमाइश देख दे कर हुंडी मार्फत भाई सिंधु सिंह मेवड़ा हजूर भेजनी. So she's telling to send it through the Mevra, and again she gave the name of the Mevra, Pai Siddhu Singh. बनारस श्री वाहिगुरु जी की कोठी है. सेवा लोच कर करनी जो सिख लंगर की कार लोच कर देसी तिस दी किरत गुरु पूरा बरकत करसी. Again it's the same message that Mataji is telling, that whoever that gives this one to the Guru Ka, they would have barakata in their house. Sammat 786 Chet Sudi 11 17 14. So there are 14 lines in this Hukamnama, and the date when we translate it would become 17 March 1730. The next Hukamnama. So we can see there's a certain trend of how the certain style of writing, and they are same across all the Hukamname, and that tells us as well that these Hukamname are written by the same person, because the style of the writing is almost the same. Ik Oankar Satguru Ji Sangat Sri Akal Pur. So why this is not fully written by the author is because some of this Hukamname, it's very hard to read it, and some of the wordings are not clear. So the author only write the part that is visible and we can understand. So Sangat Sri Akal, probably it would be Purkha. Ka Khalsa Wasi Pat. So it's again missing word. It could be Patan, because this place is called Patan Sheikh Farid Ji. Farid Ka. So this is how we can guess what is the word, because it's Pat and then Farid Ka, and this place name is Patana Sheikh Farid. Guru Rakhega Rupaye Pai, and that's again it's not clear. Ki Marphat. She basically gave the name of the Mevra in her Nishan. Ki Marphat Hai Khute Khushi Hoi. So this is the Nishan of Mataji, but in this Hukamnama the Nishan is not clear. That is why the author only writes the part which is clear. So who is this Hukamnama addressed to? Is referred to the Sangat of Patan Sheikh Farid. It's basically Sheikh Farid, this place, and it's in if I'm not mistaken, it's in Amritsar Sahib. So the Mataji would be, we would be saying there would be few Hukamname after this, and they would be sent to the same place of Patan Sheikh Farid ke, the Sangat of that place. And the Mevra that is bringing this Hukamnama, his name is Pai Man Singh. Ik Oankar Satguru Ji Sri Mata Ji di Agya hai Sarbat Sangat Sri Akal Purkh Ji ka Khalsa Wasi Patan Sheikh Farid ka Guru Rakhega. So again Mataji is saying, may Guruji bless the Sangat of this place. Guru Japna Janam Savarna. 5 रुपये तो साडे भाई मान सिंह मेवड़े की मार्फत हजूर पहुँचे. So they said the 5 rupaye that you sent through Pai Man Singh has reached. पहुँच गए. बहुत खुशी हुई. I'm very happy. अगे कार पेट सुख मनत दसाउद चलीहा गोलक जो श्री गुरु जी के नमित की कौड़ी दमड़ी होवे सो हुंडी कराए कै. So this Mataji is saying, I'm very happy I have received your previous daswand, and now if you have any more daswand that you have kept aside for the Guru Kar, you can pass it to Pai Man Singh ki marfat hajur pejni. You can send it through Pai Man Singh, who's bringing this letter. So when a person is coming to take the daswanda, usually there needs to be a nishani on the person telling that I am the one that's entrusted to take this daswanda. So what is the nishani that the Mevra of Mata Sahib Devan Ji has is this letter, this Hukamnama. Pejni nihal hovoge tusi mere putt farjand ho. You are my beloved children. You would be in nihal. Tusi nihal hoge. तुसा ऊपर मेरी बहुत खुशी है. सिखां पुत्तां दी सेवा दी वेला है. This is another point. Mataji say, this is the time for you, my children, to do seva. So to basically send seva, to do seva of the Guru Kar. So she said, "E velava, this is an opportunity for you to do seva. This is the time for you to do seva. लोच के सेवा करोगे तो साडी सेवा दरगाह थाए पवेगी." They say if you do the seva properly with a genuine heart, your seva will bear fruit. सम्मत 1788 मिति पोहो 23 1711. So there are 11 lines in this Hukamnama, and if you translate this date, it would be 23 December 1731. So now we're seeing the 5th Hukamnama. Ik oankar Satguru ji lasa wasi patan se guru rakhega. Again, this is there's probably more to this nishan, but the only visible part is as scribed by the Likhari in this book, and this is the nishan of Mata Sahib Devan ji. एक ओंकार सतगुरु जी, श्री माता जी की आज्ञा है, सरबत संगत श्री अकाल पुरख जी का खालसा वासी पटन शेख फरीद का गुरु रखेगा. May Guru protect the citizens, the inhabitants of this place. गुरु गुरु जपना जन्म सवारना, कार पेट सुख मनत दसाउद चलीहा. So chaliha, sometimes the Sangha, they would keep they are the swand for 40 days. Like now, we usually give the swand for after 1 month, after getting salary. So the people at that time, they used to keep the money for 40 days, and then they would collect it, and then the Mevra would come and they would give it to the Mevra, or they themselves would go to the Guru Kar. गोलक जो श्री गुरु जी के निमित्त की कौड़ी दमड़ी होवे, so hundi krai ke. So hundi means to hundi krai ke, collect all the swan that you have in your place. Langar de kharchno, so Mataji is saying we need the swan to run the langar. Pai Man Singh Mevde ki marfat hajur pejni, send it through Pai Man Singh ji. निहाल होवोगे, तुहाडी खट्टी कमाई विच गुरु बरकत पावेगा. Guru Maharaj would bless you more, they would put barakat in your कमाई. तुसी मेरे पुत फरजंद हो, तुसा ऊपर मेरी बहुत खुशी है, तो साडे सब्बे मनोरथ गुरु पूरे करेगा. This Mataji is giving so much love to her children. She kept saying that you are my beloved children, and I'm very happy with you. Sikha putan di seva di vel hai. Again she said this is the time for you to do seva. लोच के सेवा करोगे तो साडी सेवा दरगाह थाए पवेगी, तो साडे सब्बे कार्य गुरु पूरा रास करेगा. Again Mataji say if you do this seva properly, genuinely, Guru Maharaj would bless you. Sammat 787 miti poho 7 There are 9 lines of this Hukamnama, and if we translate the date, it is 7 December 1730. And the 6th Hukamnama. एक ओंकार सतगुरु खालसा वासी फरीद का 14 हजूर पहुंच पाए. So these are again, the nishan is not properly visible. The only visible part is that we have in this pothi, and this is the nishan of Mata Sahib Devan ji. 1799 मिति हाड़ 1 17 13. So there are 13 lines of this Hukamnama. एक ओंकार सतगुरु जी, श्री माता जी दी आज्ञा है, सरबत संगत जी अकाल पुरख जी का खालसा वासी पटन शेख फरीद का व गिरद निवाही. So गिरद निवाही means जड़े होर जड़े ओदे गिरद रहंदे आ around the people, not only to the sangat of Patan Sheikh Farid ke, but also the city, the people, the sangat that is staying around this area as well. Guru rakhega, may Guru protect all of you. गुरु गुरु जपना जन्म सवारना. 14 रुपये तुहाडे भाई मान सिंह की मार्फत हजूर पहुँचे. The 14 रुपये that you sent has reached through Pai Man Singh. बहुत खुशी हुई अग्गे कार पेट सुख मनत दसाउद चलीहा गोलक, जो श्री गुरु जी के निमित्त का की कौड़ी दमड़ी होवे, सो भाई मान सिंह की मार्फत हजूर भेजनी. So she said, I have received, and if you have any more the swans to give, you can send it through this Mevra called Pai Man Singh. निहाल होवोगे तो साडी खट्टी कमाई विच गुरु बरकत पावेगा. तुसी मेरे पुत फरजंद हो, तुसा ऊपर मेरी बहुत खुशी है, ਤੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਭੇ ਮਨੋਰਥ ਗੁਰੂ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਰੇਗਾ। ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਪੁੱਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੀ ਵੇਲਾ ਹੈ, ਲੋਚ ਕੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦਰਗਾਹ ਥਾਏ ਪਵੇਗੀ। So she's saying again that this is the time for you to do seva. If you do it properly, you would get the fruits of it. जो सिख अग्ञे होए कै कार करावेगे, तिसके सब्बे कारज गुर पूरा रास करेगा, तिसका भला होवेगा। So she saying those who come forward and lead this seva and do this seva, they would be blessed greatly, and whatever they desire for, they would get it. And the second last hukamnama, again it is written to the Sangat of Patan Sheikh Farid ke. It is dated on 30th December 1734, and the mevra that is bringing it is called Pai Bente. And what did Mataji say? Again, the nishan is not very clear. It's basically say rega. Maybe it would be something karega ya rakhega. Te no. Only these two pankti are readable. So this is the part of the nishan of Mataji. ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ। श्री माता जी ਦੀ ਆਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਭਾਈ ਮਾਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਗੁਰੂ ਰੱਖੇਗਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਜਪਨਾ ਜਨਮ ਸਵਾਰਨਾ। ਅੱਗੇ ਭਾਈ ਬਿਨਤੇ ਕੇ ਮਾਰਫਤ ਖੂਹ ਸੇਖ ਪਟਨ ਸ਼ੇਖ ਫਰੀਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵਾਂ ਬਣਵਾਏ ਦੇਵਨਾ। So now Mataji is saying, she's not asking or telling them about anything about the Swanda. She's saying, she's sending Pai Bente here, giving this hukamnama to Pai Bente, and she's telling under his leadership, make a coup here. Basically dig a well at this area, because maybe this area needs a well. So that's why Mataji is saying, under the leadership of this mevra that I have sent, use the swand that you have, that instead of sending it to me, use it to make a well in your pinde, in your area. Jo kuch lagge so sarkar de lekhe lavna. So she said, whatever cost that you would incur from this well digging, put it on the head of the sarkar. Who is the sarkar? The sarkar is Mataji herself, because she is leading the pantha. So now the sarkar is the pantha. So she is saying, whatever cost it takes, put it on us. So basically Mataji is saying that we would fund this well. The pantha would fund it. The sarkar at the time was the Khalsa pantha. So that's why Mataji is saying, put it on us. So Sikh pani pivan ge pala hoga. So Mataji say, whoever that would drink water from this well, ona da pala hoga. Hukam tumno likha hai khu hacha banwaye. And Mataji also say, make a good well, make a proper well. Banaye devna sammat 1791 mago 1:17:8. So there are eight lines of this hukamnama, and they're only supposed to be 8. Now this is the last hukamnama. This is written to the Nushaira Sangat, Nushaira, and if we translate the date, it will be 30th May 1732, and the mevra that is bringing this hukamnama from Mataji is named Pai Ram Singh. And Mataji's we would see Mataji's nisan, Ik Oankar Satguru Ji Sarbat Khalsa Nivasi Nau Shehra Panua Ka Guru Rakhega. So Mataji is saying, may Guru Maharaj bless the sangat of this area. 11 rupaye langar no bhejne nihal hovoge. So Mataji is saying in a very brief form in her own nisan as well. She is saying 11 rupaye is needed for the langar, and Mataji is saying that those people that would send it, they would be nihal. Ik Oankar Satguru Ji, Sri Mata Ji di agya hai. This is the order of Mata Sahib Devan Ji. Sarbat Khalsa Ji Akal Purkh Ji ka Vasi Nashaura Panua da Guru Rakhega. May Maharaj bless the people of this area. Guru Japana Janam Savarna. Again and again Mataji is saying the same message, to meditate. 11 rupaye langar de kharch no tu sade uppar furmais hoi hai. She said, my instruction is for you to send 11 rupaye. अग्गै कार भेट सुख मनत दसाउद चलीहा गोलक जे श्री गुरु जी के नमित की कौड़ी दमड़ी होवे सो हुंडी कराए कै. So she is saying, if you have any money that you have kept aside for the Guru car, do hundi of it, basically collect it. Bhai Ram Singh Mevde ki marfat hajur pejni, send it through my Mevda. And what is he called? He's called Bhai Ram Singh. ਨਿਹਾਲ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ ਤੁਸਾਡੀ ਖੱਟੀ ਕਮਾਈ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਬਰਕਤ ਪਾਵੇਗਾ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਫਰਜ਼ੰਦ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸਾਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਮੇਰੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੈ. ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਪੁੱਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੀ ਵੇਲਾ ਹੈ. ਲੋਚ ਕੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਤੁਸਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦਰਗਾਹ ਥਾਏ ਪਵੇਗੀ. ਸੰਮਤ 1799 ਮਿੱਟੀ ਹਾੜ੍ਹ 1713. So there are 13 lines of this Hukamnama. And again, Mataji is saying that basically that whoever that sends this one, that they would be deeply blessed. And we were actually going to see another chapter, which is basically the next chapter is basically telling us about some noteworthy updesh that we can learn from the Hukamname and also from the Jeevani itself. But since we are running out of time, we would continue this tomorrow. And Babaji, the writer, they always tell us that if we read the whole Jeevani, this noteworthy updesh that is given in this very short subtopic is basically the nichod, the essence of what we should take back from the Jeevani and the Hukamname. So we would see this tomorrow, and then we would also see how Mataji gives darshan to her beloved children as well after their Jyoti Jyot. And that is something we would see tomorrow. And we can see from this Hukamname in general that Mataji always firstly she always tell her the Sangat she would always start her Hukamnama with a blessing, saying Guru rakhega, Guru rakhe. So she always started with a blessing, and then she always she would say Akal Purkh ka Khalsa. She would refer the Khalsa in that manner. And then she would say, again she would give her blessing, say may Guru protect you. And then she would continue saying Guru Japana Janam Savarna. And we have seen in all the Hukamname, almost all the Hukamname had this pankti, Guru Japana Janam Savarna. It shows how important it is for us to follow this bachan of Mataji, that we should basically work on our spiritual journey, because Mataji has greatly emphasized on this as well. Before she even talk anything about the Swanda or what she wants them to do in the Hukamnama, she tells them to Naam Japna first. Only then she goes on to why she sent the Hukamnama. And then she would tell them the reason that she is sending the Hukamnama. Either she have received the Swanda, or there is a need of the Swanda, or basically there is a task that needs to be done, for example to build a well. So all of that. And then she would continue, then again she would end the Hukamnama with a blessing as well, where she would say, those of you who give this Swanda, you would be deeply blessed, greatly blessed. So we can see how loving Mataji was and how compassionate she is, that even in writing her Hukamname, because this is very important, this is where we are seeing Mataji speaking for herself. She is speaking herself. That is how the Hukamname is written. Just like when we read Gurbani, we get to know what kind of tone of Gurbani usually Guru Amar Das ji writes in. We know Guru Tegh Bahadur ji, they are very known for writing in a very viragmai avastha. And basically we know Guru Gobind Singh ji, for example, their Bani is a lot of Bir Ras as well. So in such a way we should also know how our Mataji used to speak. And we only get to know this when we go through Ittihas like this. For example, when we study the Hukamname, when we see how Mataji used to write. If she's writing in such a way, it means that she would be speaking in this way too. So we can only imagine how much with how much love Mataji used to speak to the Sangat, That is why we saw in the first few chapters where they say when Mataji was younger, she had such a good avastha and a voice that people loved to hear Bani recited by her. Then we saw when she was in Delhi, people used to love listening her katha, and listening her katha felt as if the Sangat was in Sachkhand itself. And we can now feel some of it because we can see it in the Hukamnama itself. Mataji's writing in such a loving way that it basically gives us a glimpse of how it would have been to speak to Mataji. And may this deepens our relationship with Mataji because we are getting to know her better and better. And may Mataji's blessing be on all. Any mistake done in translating this and explaining this Hukamname, I truly apologize. And we would see tomorrow about the important teachings that the Khalsa should adopt from this Jeevani and this Hukamname. And with that, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.